Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissach, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you are joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And I always like having people on the show that are literally out making a difference. Really excited to have these guys back with the Hash Grant Association. First, Noah Lerat. Noah, thanks for being here. The president of the Hash Grant Association. Glad you're here.
Happy to be here, sir.
All right, appreciate that. Sitting next to him, Mr. Ryan Page, the vice president of
Thank
the
you,
Hash
sir.
Grant Association.
Much appreciated.
All right, absolutely. Sitting next to them, always glad to be the last guy who's coming in, bringing up the rear, Jason Bergeron. Jason, thanks for joining us, treasurer
Yes, sir.
with Hash Grant. And so, guys, y'all have done a whole lot. We're excited about what's going on, the events that have been taking place, but y'all are so very dedicated with the Hash Grant Association of really coming in and making a difference from the bandstand to every area in Terrebonne Parish. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that y'all have been involved in and how that's going.
You know, we're a pretty young organization. We got started in 2021, so not even a little bit over a year old. And in that period of time, we've had a lot of events happen. We had, Hurricane Ida, so we started focusing on quality of life, and we wanted to do that through public amenities like a bandstand. When Ida hit, we realized that quality of life took a more basic meaning, so we switched efforts to hurricane relief. Now we're back to community outreach and trying to make Terrebonne Parish a better place to live.
Yeah. And so, Ryan, I know we've been doing some events around here, but you guys kind of want to expand and do everything. We're kind of starting at the hub, right? Starting at the heartbeat and kind of moving out. Things are moving along.
That's exactly right. I mean, we wanted downtown to be our focus. We all know that with a thriving downtown and a community, you have a place to go to. You have a community center that's so important. We want it to get back to. So with all of our events, our focus is downtown, but we want to, with our expansion, we want to hit all of Terrebonne Parish and really focus on making all of our area a better place to live, like Noah said.
Well, and it's really interesting to talk about that and how far you've come in such a short period of time, but how much effort, energy, and excitement that you bring. I'm glad you mentioned Ida, because the Hash Grant Association just pumped the brakes and said, we need to do something for the community. We need to make a difference for the community. Jason, let's talk about some of those things that y'all really implemented and put in place when the hurricane hit.
Well, we've been fortunate, with this starting with Noah and them on this distillery. That's kind of become our hub for everything. And,
right.
Right after the storm, it's like we all showed up there going, okay, what are we going to do first? What are we going to do next? And, at the time, we didn't have water. We didn't have electricity. And it was something, something as simple as a shower was something we felt like we need to help make sure that people had access to those things.
Right. And y'all made that happen. Water was one of those things, trying to get water out to people, trying to get food out to people. There's been a challenge, and it was discussed a little earlier in this first program, around 6 tonight, about what we're going to do to help Florida. So I'd like all of you to be thinking in the next day or two what we can do to help those people, because it's kind of Earl Hughes, our Director of Emergency Preparedness, kind of challenged me to think about what do we do to help those people. So I want to ask y'all to put your hats on, those hash hats, if you will, which is all about giving back. And I love the fact that we have something as historic as the building where you are at Bayou Terrebonne Distillers, that has got so much historical relevance to our area and to downtown. And it's one of those places where people know it's becoming a meeting point, a greeting point, to be able to make plans and do things.
Mm-hmm. That's downtown in general to me. There's so many landmarks and pillars of our community that got their start on Main Street, and it really brings me a lot of joy to see people starting to come back to downtown. I'm seeing it a lot. I know, in my opinion, I think COVID had a big impact on keeping people out of downtown. Downtown's always thrived on having festivals and events, and we stopped doing that during COVID because we had to.
Right.
But now there's a lot of events coming up in October and November, and I think you're going to see a lot more interest in downtown and those historical sites that we all know and love.
And even be able to celebrate important days. I mean, it was so nice to see you there a couple Fridays ago, really celebrating the day that we should honor those veterans, and make sure that we're honoring those and raising that flag like we were able to do
Yeah, downtown's the center for our community. It always, for every town, downtown's the center of the heartbeat of a community. So, it's very important to take those, those steps and those efforts to preserve and celebrate and do all those kind of things together on Main Street and surrounding areas.
And we've got a way to be able to do that. People are going to be able to come out and celebrate and do that in a fun way. And so I love the fact that we're going to be able to challenge people to come and not necessarily make fun of, but to be able to honor those people who need to get around with walkers like not everybody does. So Jen, put that up there. I kind of want to let people know the Maw Maw Walker and Tailgate for 2022. It's going to be in downtown Houma. It takes place on October 1st, which is this Saturday. This is, I know we don't have a lot of time to talk about it now. We'll talk about it a little bit more in this next segment if we can. But this is exciting because it's the next event that's coming up. Got about 30 seconds to give us just an overview, if that's all right.
All right, so the Bayou Terrebonne Tailgate and Maw Maw Walker is a combination of two of our events from last year. The Maw Maw Walker is like the red dress run in New Orleans. Except we put on muumuus instead of red dresses, and its purpose is to bring business to the downtown restaurants, pubs, and eateries. So it's literally a revitalization event. The Tailgate is a community event, getting together and watching some football all day and being a community.
All moo-mooed up. And so no, we appreciate it very, very much, Ryan and Jason as well. You guys do look very different. I am very glad I wasn't asked to step up with my moo-moo just yet. You can see that the walker's here. It's one of those things that we recognize very often as people who need it, and we always want to make sure that it's available. So Noah, tell us a little bit about how this came to be and why it's going to be such a fun time.
Well, moo-moos are very comfortable. I don't know if you ever put one on or not, but if you're walking a 5K, what the route is, it's a really nice way to walk it.
So it's better than high heel shoes. It's better than a red dress.
Better than
the
all that.
moo-moo's got options for if there's anything else with that you have on.
Maw Maw, she wore this for a reason.
Okay.
And it's about comfort, not speed. And we're not running.
So walkers and moo-moos are built for comfort, not speed.
That's right.
If we've learned anything today, that's it. Right?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay,
it.
so it's a 5K, and it's about people coming out to really have a good time.
Well, look, it's a walking deal. It's not a race. The whole point is to hit 18 stops on a route downtown to bring business to those pubs, restaurants, and eateries.
And so if you need to, as you can show, put the flyer up one more time. We appreciate it. Put that flyer up one more time because I want to be able to show this particular Maw Maw knows what she's doing. She's got an option to put beer on both sides of her walker.
That's right.
So if you need to really kind of step up and ramp up your walker that you bring out to the tailgate, you can do that because you want to make a stop at those 18 places and really make a difference to help revitalize downtown Houma.
That's right.
That's the whole point. And so, Ryan, the whole idea of moo-moos, Maw Maws, and walkers, where'd it come from?
Looking for a fun thing to do, a fun opportunity to get out downtown and have a good time. We did see the success of the Red Dress Run in Houma. In New Orleans, and said,
Right.
What could we do here in Houma that not copy that, but mimic that in a way that brought a lot of joy to people in a way that had a good sense of getting together, hitting these stops like Noah talked about, and bringing business back to downtown, the downtown community. And one thing that I want to mention that's going to be a cool part of it is there's going to be a prize for the participants. There's going to be a passport so they can get a stamp at each stop. And at the end, all of those little passports or with your name on it will be put into a raffle, and there'll be a really awesome prize at the end for the participants there. So it's important to hit all those stops and also participate in any way you can for this event.
So the mimic is a moo-moo.
The mimic is a moo-moo.
I like it. Jason, one of those things that we're always excited about is trying to raise awareness, trying to raise money, and just make a difference for downtown. And you guys are very dedicated to that.
Yeah, when we come up with kind of the cool name of what we can do, and moo-moos is representative of our area. And when you look at the pride, when you walk through downtown, and especially when we did this right after Ida, to see what happened to our city, our parish, to bring awareness, to try to kill the apathy that's going on. You know, a lot of this community has developed apathy over time of just things not being what it was. And so by walking through some of these areas, you start to notice things. You say, well, you know, take a little more time to maybe clean up, pick up, not throw trash in the first place, and just do things to revitalize, rebuild. You know, this is kind of our project. We're working on the bandstand. We're looking at doing other projects across the parish, but this is our opportunity to promote that rebuilding, that pride, that civic pride about our area.
Yeah. And you know, interestingly enough, Houma is becoming very rapidly a very clean and a very welcoming place to be. And you know, we're doing that. We're eliminating it. Because I will tell you, I'm just thinking back several years ago and all the time that I've spent downtown with the theater and being involved in that. And when you do theater, you're there a lot. And so you're at some of the restaurants thereby, it's close by. But it's much nicer and cleaner than it's been in years.
Yeah.
It really is.
And you know, that was one of the big purposes of the Maw Maw Walker initially too, was there was this big, I guess, this negative feeling that nobody wanted to come walk or be a pedestrian downtown. So we said, well, we'll bring you pedestrians. We'll bring you, you know, hundreds of them, and they'll all be wearing muumuus. So then we can address the issue with the truck traffic on Main Street, right? A lot of people are scared to park or walk downtown because of the you know, the trucks flying down Main Street going way too fast. So
Right.
this event in itself is a way to bring awareness to our traffic issue, and with downtown being maybe not as pedestrian friendly as it needs to be revitalized.
Gotcha. All right, Jen, put that back up one more time. I want people to know where they can go and what to do. It is the Maw Maw Walker and Tailgate 2022 in downtown Houma, 8043 Main Street in Houma, actually. October 1st, the Tailgate experience starts around 8 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, right?
Yeah. It's an all-day event, tailgating in the morning, moo-moo walking in the afternoon, and the LSU game and a live concert that evening.
Okay. And they're also going to be showing you Ellen Nichols.
That's right.
Being shown during the day. So it is an awesome opportunity to put on a moo and be comfortable, to stroll down a 5K if you want to, and to do some great tailgating and to make a difference for some of those restaurants and all of those vendors, all of the people that really are a part of downtown. We thank y'all very much for joining us. Thank you for moo-mooing up. And so it's a big deal, and for getting the walker and blowing it out, if you will. And
Try it
so
out.
we appreciate it. Yeah. All right. Moo-moos, we're going to bring back in style, right? Guys, thank y'all so very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
All right, guys, and that'll do it for this particular segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A whole lot more when we return.